Myself, Ankita Tiwari, from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology, from IT ICT department. I am going to take the session from module 4, that is A to D converters and D to A converters. The session here we are going to have on the topic, that is analog to digital converter. In the last session, we have done one of the type of converters, that is flash ADC. Now today we are going to have in this session the two other types of converters, that is, as the three types are flash ADC, second is dual slope or we can say digital RAM, and the third is successive approximation ADC. So today we will be doing the second one and the third one. Okay, starting with the first, that is dual slope ADC. It is also known as counter RAM or digital RAM ADC. A dual slope ADC is also being commonly used in measurement instruments. Okay. Now in dual slope, the integrator generates two different RAMs. So because two RAMs is being generated, so with respect to that only the name has been given, that is dual slope. Now one of the RAM is known as analog input voltage, that is VA, and the other is known as reference voltage, that is V reference. Okay. Now, hence, it is called as dual slope. The dual slope mainly consists of 5 blocks, that is integrator, comparator, clock signal generator, control logic, and counter. Okay. Now, whenever we are talking about the circuit, we need to understand the basic block diagram. So this diagram which is given here is a basic thing which will have the 5 of the components and how this component works. So as we can see, the first is given as a integrator, which from where the voltage is being applied. Now that is applied to the comparator. Now comparator will go to the control logic, where the logic will be created in order to compare the voltage and the input signal. Now when this comparison is being done in the control logic, it will start from here, and whenever it will start, it will take clock as an input. So here the clock signal is provided, and with respect to that, the counter value is set in order to count or in order to find the present and the next condition. So counter will have the, with respect to control logic, the comparison output. It will decide which is the present and next what will be the output. The digital output will be created from the counter. Now with respect to this, the control logic actually resets the counter and enables the clock signal generator in order to send the clock pulses to the counter. Now, whenever it is received, the start commanding signal will start. Okay. Now, with respect to that, the control logic pushes. And what it will push? The switch SW, which is provided in the circuit itself, which is connected to the external analog input voltage, that is V of I. When it is received, the start commanding signal will start, and the input voltage is applied to the integrator. Okay, that is applied to the comparator. Now, the output of the integrator is connected to one of the input of the comparator. As I already said, the integrator is connected to the comparator in order to give the signal or in order to give the input to the comparator, which will generate the control logic. Okay. Now, comparator compares the output of the integrator with 0 volt, that is ground, and produces an output which is applied to the control logic, where the logic will be created. Okay. The dual slope ADC is also here. The control logic, whenever the switch SW is connected to the negative reference voltage, because here we are taking negative reference voltage. Okay, this negative reference is applied to the integrator, which will remove the charge stored in the capacitor until it becomes zero. For that, because capacitor will initially it will have some current voltage inside it. So in order to make it zero, we need to take the reference voltage as a negative. Okay. Now when it at any instant, when both the inputs of the comparator are having 0 volt, that means comparison is done. So the comparison sends a signal to the control logic that the comparison is been done, and the control logic will disable the control signal generator and retains the counter value. The counter value will give the output of the digital value. Okay. Now, whenever we are talking about the block diagram, we will see one example. So how it works. There is a switch which is applied here, okay, with the voltage, and it is given as an input to the control logic. With respect to control logic, as a dual slope has been taken, two integrator circuits will be there. That with respect to that, it is provided to the control logic. And control logic with respect to clock, that is oscillator is given, and the output will be sent to counter. When the two of the voltage becomes zero, it will reset, the counter value will reset the control logic that it is done. Counter value will give the value to the register, and register will give our binary output. Okay. Now, the dual slope ADC is used in the application where accuracy is more important while converting analog input into its actual or the equivalent digital output. Okay. The next type of ADC that we are having is a successive approximation. Now, whenever we are comparing, whenever we are having any technique, we are comparing it with the other types. So here it is much faster than the digital ramp ADC or the flash ADC because it uses digital logic. Digital logic means 0, 1 to converge on the value closest to the input voltage. Because in middle value, the counter which is getting it, or the control logic where it is comparing it, that value is decreased here. And directly we are taking the common value as 0 and 1. So this is a very good advantage of it. Okay, in successive, instead of counting up in binary sequence, here the register counts by trying all the values of bits, starting with the most significant bit and finishing at the last significant bit. Here we'll start in the reverse order. We'll start with MSD to the LSD. Okay. Now, throughout the count process, the register monitors the comparator's output to see if the binary count is less or it is greater than the analog signal input, adjusting the bit values accordingly. Now, with respect to that, whenever the way that register count is being find it out, it is identical to the try and fit method. Okay, that means when we are trying it and it get fits, that is what the supposition is. When we are taking each and every supposition and we are finding it, is it correct or not? At one position we will get the value as correct. So this is what trial and fit method is, which is applied in the successive approximation ADC. Now we'll see the working of it as a flowchart. Here, as you can see, we'll start with the clear. In the flowchart, you can see the first thing that it is given on the top, that is start. We'll first of all we will clear all the bits. Initially, we'll not have anything. Then we'll start at MSD. I have already said, so in this method, we are starting with MSD and we'll reach till LSD. So we'll start at MSD, we'll take that bit. Then we'll set that bit is equals to 1. Okay. And if we will see is PSC output that is greater than that voltage which is provided. Okay. If it is yes, then we will clear bit back to 0. Okay. If it is greater, we don't have to do anything. If it is small, then only then we can go inside the system and we can have the value. So if it is less, we will clear it off, and if it is less, then we will forward it, and if it is low, and if it is greater, then it will clear it. Now, if it is less than yes, that means we will have the no part. We will go inside, and we'll have all the bits. We'll check it one by one. Okay. If it is all the bits are being checked, we will go to the next higher or lower bit. Then we will continue it. Bits being checked. Then we will go to the next one. This will continue till all the bits are checked. That means it is done. We'll go in the yes part. Conversion finished. Number in the register. We will have the answer and we will enter. That means if it is getting equal value, because we are here, we are counting it at each. We are supposing each and every condition. If we are getting at some position, it is equal. That means the process is over. If it is not, then only then we will continue. So this is what the flowchart of successive approximation method. Okay. So here the successive approximation circuit, we need to have a look of it. So here we are having the circuit, which is very difficult to understand actually. But as you can see here, SAR, that is voltage, is being defined, DAC is being given, and the comparison is being done at each and every bit. So that comparison is being provided at the voltage, which is given in the net third of the column, and when any of it is matched, that will give the binary output. If it is not matched, then it will continue to the circuit. It will do the comparison till the values that we got is as equal. Okay, so moving forward, if we are plotting this circuit with respect to time, the operation of the successive approximation ADC will look like, as you can see here, analog signal is being provided as a waveform, okay, and the digital output. See, the output is same only. Output, if you are taking in the form of any of the converter, that is if I'm taking flash ADC, dual slow, or if I'm taking successive approximation, output will get digital only, and that will be this only. But you will have to see the difference in the input which is provided. Okay, the input which is provided, as you can see here, it is a more taking value that is zigzag. The waveforms are not smooth. Its texture is very much wavy form. So this is what the thing we need to remember, which is taking the accurate value or which is taking the less accurate value. So that is dependent on the circuit. So here we have done the two types of circuits or these converters. That is, we have done flash ADC, the third type. The first of the flash ADC I have done in the previous lecture itself. The second type of we have done is the successive approximation method and the dual slope. So here we have covered or we have completed the three types of A to D converters. Thank you.